What kind of issues could I be having with the new MGP brake caliper covers? Let's find out. So if we're looking at the rear tire here, you can see how much space there is between the rim and the brake caliper and the caliper cover. Lots of gap there, not a problem at all. Now let's take a look at the front tire. Seeing the front tire here, you can see that there isn't that same amount of gap between the caliper and the rim, especially the inside portion here. There's really not a whole lot of space. I'm trying to show you, let's see, there. It's hard to really see without like a ruler for scale, but it's not the same amount of gap that you have on the rear tire. So this is, and I don't know if it's just the limited wheels versus the ones that actually came stock on this 4Runner, but let me show you the problem that I was having. So I did have to go in and remove the front caliper covers, and we tried to adjust but it's a fixed distance on where the mounting points are onto the installation bracket. I left the brackets on the caliper itself because I do plan to put these back on, but this is the issue here. See this rubbing? As soon as I wasn't able to test the spacing. I mean, I stuck a little card in just to see if there was a gap, but apparently there wasn't, because if you look on it, there was clearly rubbing on both sides. And I only had it on, I drove, as soon as I hit the highway, I heard it. Like I heard like a little rubbing, but as soon as I, picked up speed, even once I hit 25, 30 miles an hour, it was just a loud, obnoxious rubbing sound. And I already knew that's not good. So I had to come home, re-jack up my car, and sure enough, both sides. It wasn't just one side. So this is the problem that you might run into if you have like a 4Runner with the limited wheels, especially. You might get this rubbing. So I did contact the company, and this was their response. I called MGP and I explained the issue, and I wasn't very satisfied with the initial response that they gave me. They said, well, unfortunately, because these are special ordered. And I said, special ordered? So yes, I did pay a little extra to have the word 4Runner put on here. Otherwise, it's just all black. Or it might say MGP on it or something. So because it says 4Runner, which is another issue that I had, was that I did pay more. I paid extra to have this on there. It's considered custom, and they are not able to take it back. So I was made to start to feel like there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to have to cut my losses. Now, this wasn't really cheap. It was $250, $280, whatever I paid for them. I wasn't willing to just say, okay, my bad. I guess I'll just throw them away. But I did work with this guy, and I asked him, I said, do you have any other remedies? Maybe like a spacer? And they have spacers. In fact, this is what he sent me. So I don't know why this wasn't offered to me initially, and this isn't in no way a bash to the company that makes the caliper covers, but this might be something you encounter if you decide to go this route, aren't happy with it, and this might be a reaction or a response to you. But they did send me these. I think they're a 1/4 inch, like 6mm, 1/4 inch aluminum spacers, which would likely solve the problem for the rubbing here. So I was debating, do I want to commit to a 1/4 inch spacer? Or should I do another route? Let me show you what that is. So these are the spacers sent to me by MGP. Free of charge, covered shipping, they arrived. So that's a good remedy. Shout out to them for at least, trying to fix the problem. But I looked into these and I thought, well, I could. This is still an option. But I looked into other spacers as well. And I thought, do I want to just solve the problem, or do I want to give the car a totally different look, a whole different stance? So I ended up looking into these here. This is from KSP Performance. And these are two spacers from them. One is 1.25 inches thick. And these are heavy. These are heavy duty, and they have to be. And this is 1.5 inches thick. They're both, again, from the same company. Now, I'm kind of debating which one do I want to run with, because, compared to this, right? Like you see that right there. That's a 1/4 inch, 1.5, 1.25 inch. So there has to be a happy medium. I don't want to say that as big as I can go with, say, the 1.5 inch is going to be best, but 1.25 inch might be just good enough to give my car the look it wants. Unfortunately, I won't know what it looks like until I put them on, and it's a lot of work to try to put on 1.25 inches and then have to take those off, after lowering the car, jack it back up, putting on these. Now, I will say that if you're looking at putting spacers on your car, this is like a whole separate video. There are things to consider, and one is the way the 4Runner bolts are. So the stock bolts that come out of the car itself will go in through these, but you have to make sure you have these types of bolts that have the taper at the end to fit in there, to get a good lock on the thread from the car. So I wasn't sure if these would come with them, which they did. This came out of the box, but you can see like this taper would have to be the one to go in there, and then that way you get a good thread on the bottom half. I did buy separate set here just in case. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but I might not need those because these came with it. Plus, another thing that's suggested if you're going to go this route is to put on some locking thread Loctite, basically to seal the threads here. I bought a tube of that just in case, but these also came in the box. So this is a couple things to consider. However, I do want to put this question out there to you, to those of you watching this video right now. Should I just stick with the actual spacers that were provided just to solve the problem in clearing the gap and prevent the rubbing? Or I know I'm probably going to go with one of these because I want a little wider stance for the tires all around, all four. I don't want to do like 1.5 inches in the back, 1.25 inches in the front, nothing like that. So leave a comment below. Let me know if I should go with the 1.25 inch spacer here or the 1.5 inch spacer here. If you have any spacers on your car currently, please tell me if you've run into any issues or any problems. Does it wear after a while? Does it ruin the alignment? Do you have problems with these bolts just locking or threading where any issues that you might have had as a result of adding any spacers to your car? Because this is kind of a big decision for me, and I don't want to have to do a do-over. And the end result will be a wider stance, as well as finally getting these put back on the front. I'm also adding these to the back, like I just said. So leave a comment and let me know if you think the 1.5 inch would look better on a 4Runner, you've seen mine, or the 1.25 inch. I know it doesn't seem like much of a difference, but it is. It is, and it does make a big like overall difference there. So that's my dilemma. So I will solve the problem one way or another, and those will go back on. But now it's just a matter of what to choose. All right, guys. So don't forget, leave that comment below. Let me know which one you think I should go with. That will be a future install video. I do have many other videos that I just need to finish that I've already started. I've had questions about the exhaust that I put on my car. When is that video coming out? So that will be sometime soon. And I do have a trip coming up. I'm going to be out and about for a few weeks during this time of year. So I probably won't be posting much on my car stuff. But maybe I'll take some videos like I did with some vacations in the past. We'll see. But thank you all for watching. This is Ryan from Riding in Style.
Yeah.